Hi everyone, thanks for watching this video today. We're going to get into amortizations. So should you take a 25 year? Should you take a 30 year? We're going to dive into two mock applications and we're going to show you what the differences are for two different applicants matching the theme behind me. So without further ado, let's get into it. We've got applicant number one, Michael Scott. We can see his borrower information here, Michael G. Scott. We've got him living at Dundas Street in the United States, working for Dunder Mifflin as a branch manager, earning $125,000 as an annual salary. If we go further through his mortgage application here, we can see subject property, $2,200 annual property tax, $300 monthly strata fees, and a $50 a month heating cost. Why I'm pointing out the costs of this fictitious property is because I want to draw your attention to the orange numbers at the top left. GDS 38.74, TDS 43.54. These numbers essentially represent what you can qualify for. Most lenders want to see a GDS under 39% and a TDS under 44%. If you are under that, that means you are qualified. GDS represents the total cost of the mortgage, property tax, strata fees, and heat in ratio to your gross monthly income. TDS is those same numbers with any credit card debt, car loan payments, things like that added in on top. So if we go into the mortgage information here, we can see a $625,000 property purchase price with a 20% down payment, which is $125,000, and a basic loan amount of $500,000. We've got Michael with 5% interest and a 25-year amortization. That's going to put his monthly payments at $2,908.02. So that is going to be his maximum affordability. You'll see the qualifying details down here, 7%. That's what we have to do the stress test at, contract plus 2%, amortization 25 years. Now, if you wanted to do a 30-year amortization, we want to know what his affordability would go to, what his monthly payments are, all the other information with that. So let's look at our second applicant, Dwight K. Schrute. We've got him living at 123 Schrute Farm in Pennsylvania, USA, and we've got him listed with the same income for application purposes as an assistant to the regional manager, earning $125,000 a year. And we've got subject property information the exact same as Michael's, so that we know we're comparing apples to apples here in terms of properties. If we go into the mortgage information, you'll see the same numbers, $625,000 purchase price, 20% down payment, and a $500,000 mortgage. So what would Dwight's monthly payments be if he was on a 30-year amortization? You can see the amortization here, 30 years, monthly payment, $2,698.38. That is over $200 less than what Michael has to pay. And you can see that being reflected on the top left. His GDS has now gone down to 37%, and his TDS is below 42%. So even though they're both making the same amount of income, they're both writing an offer on the same property, they're both looking at borrowing the same mortgage amount, Dwight is capable of borrowing more money than what Michael is, because down here, if you look at the qualifying, his amortization is 30 years, which is shrinking his payments. The reason it's shrinking his payments, he has an extra 5 years to pay back the mortgage, 30 years versus 25, which Michael has. And that is why his GDS and TDS numbers are alleviated up at the top. You will see the interest rate here is slightly different than what Michael had, 5.1 versus Michael's 5%. That's just because most lenders have a premium on going with a higher amortization, like 30 years versus 25. So I just wanted to show those monthly payments as being more accurate than just doing a straight 5% comparison. So the big question, now that we know that Dwight's able to qualify for more money because he's doing a larger amortization, how much more money is it going to cost him in the long run, even though he's saving $200 a month? So if we pulled up an amortization schedule for Michael's mortgage, $500,000, 5%, 25 years, you can see that the total interest that Michael is going to be paying is $117,000, $117,019.11 over 5 years. That's going to leave his balance at maturity of $442,537.91, and the principal that he's paying $57,000 and change. If we go look at an amortization schedule for Dwight, exact same information that we had in the mortgage application, the interest that he's paying is $121,349.28. That is an additional $4,330 in interest that Dwight is having to pay just for those extra 5 years and that slight increase on his rate from 5% to 5.1. His balance at maturity, $459,446.48. That is almost $17,000 more outstanding that Dwight will have at the end of his 5-year term. So $21,000 in change in the difference between Michael and Dwight that Dwight will owe and be paying more in interest, plus the extra 5 years that Dwight is going to be having to make his regular payments at versus Michael. So it's a trade-off. Dwight's going to be able to save over $200 in his monthly payments, where he can allocate that money to strata fees, property tax, insurance, investments, whatever he'd like to do with that money, where Michael's going to be having to pay back the lender an extra $200. However, he's going to be saving over $20,000 in the same period of time, and he's saving that 5 extra years that Dwight's going to have to be paying his mortgage back. So there's definite pros and cons to both. When it comes to maximizing affordability, the best thing to look at is doing a 30-year amortization. And if you're capable, making prepayments so that you're paying it off in the same timeline as a 25-year schedule. There's nothing stopping someone from doing a 30-year amortization on paper and making prepayments every month or quarterly, once a year, whatever you want to make it, to be on a 25-year amortization schedule. You will have that slight extra interest premium of 0.1%. However, you can still pay it back in the same time period, because every prepayment that somebody makes to their mortgage goes directly towards principal. It does not go to paying any interest. These mortgage videos that we're trying to do are going to be new to this channel. We're going to try and release a lot more, hopefully lighten it up a little bit with some themes so that we're not just throwing numbers and interest rates out at everybody. So I really hope that this video helps people understand the difference between a 25-year amortization and a 30-year, the difference in payments that you can have that are being decreased every month with the 30-year, and also the savings you'd be having over the life of the mortgage if you stuck with the 25 years. So if you have any questions at all, please reach out to us at info@Oak Mortgage, and please subscribe to our channel so that you can stay up to date with any new videos that we're putting out. Thanks, everyone.